Welcome to the dead of the night. Hi, Steve, Bonnie, Cynthia, Melissa, Kath, Mark, Lisa, Gregory, Kim, KZ, Maria, Mari, James, hello, KS, Julia. Thanks for following, James. I'm so close to 2,500. That would be cool. Cool to leave. Carlos, DM, Adrian, Andrew and Emma, hello. Sally, Joanne, hello. Martha, Sharon, Nina, Hayward, hello. Hello, Anita and Nicole, Brenda, Evie. Back for the third time today. Lol, can never have too many cherry blossoms in your life. You guys are in for a treat. These views are gorgeous. So we're pretty lucky. Who else have I got? Carlos, Ginny, Danger Princess, welcome. Ginny, two Ginnies, Claire, Mary Lou, hello, my friend. Hello, nice to see you. Ginny's encouraging anyone to tip through Buy Me a Coffee, which is a lovely idea. Thank you very much. I didn't promote that way before, but I will now because Heygo's closing and they don't mind now. Before, of course, I wanted to support Heygo as much as I can, and I still do, but they want us to be doing well as well. So welcome. My name is Kendal, and I'm sheltering up here because it was raining moments ago. I've been carrying this umbrella around all day, and I have not popped it open. I was kind of looking forward to the rain spattering around, but that's not going to happen right now. Hello, Margarita. Hi, Karen. I'm going to turn this around because look at these gorgeous views I'm going to give you. Over here, we're safe, but I've just released a bunch of angry stories on Instagram and Facebook because I'm not happy. Over at the other end, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you a sound that infuriates me like nothing else. I'm going to teach you. But until then, we've got a happy, relaxed, chill guide, Kendal. My name is Kendal, and I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for coming to my corner of the world. Actually, I asked the security guards to have nobody interfere with tonight. It's just us, guys. I said, you know what? Clear the rabble. Let's just have it be us. Let's have it be us. So we're in Omihachiman. We're in the Canal. This was where my first tour this morning was. There's a light dusting of rain, but it's not so much that I think my phone or gimbal will get upset. And it's just gorgeous. Look at these views. Can you see that? And because of the lights and because of the night, you can really see the cherry blossoms falling. So it's overbloom. They're about 30 or 40% overbloom, to be honest. Throughout the day, it seems to have changed so dramatically. Hi, Pauline. Hi, Sue. And hi, Diane. And if you want to hear a British person rage like you've never known rage before, then stick with me till the end of this tour. I'm not trying to speak in rhyme, but occasionally today that's happened. So it must be some kind of twisted rhythmic destiny. And I'm okay with that. Thank you very much. Ginny has shared my Buy Me a Coffee. Go ahead. It's actually just started raining too much. So guys, this is the moment. This is the moment I've been waiting for all of my days. Come on, Brolly. Come on, Brolly, light my fire. What just fell out of my umbrella? That's a bit concerning, isn't it? What did I store in there? Has anyone else ever stored something in their umbrella? I've got to put this in the wrong hand. Unleash the brolly. Level 5 brolly. This one's been out on about 10 trips. You gain 2 levels every trip. So this is a level 5 brolly with, it's Japanese, so it's got 10 dexterity, which means it can really go the extra mile. So now you can hear that I'd hoped you would hear. So actually, our cherry blossom walk is very, very short. So it's going to be mostly about appreciating the moments, appreciating these moments here. Does Buy Me a Coffee only use PayPal? No, I think you can use a variety of ways to pay on Buy Me a Coffee. You can use credit card and PayPal. Use whatever you like. Hi, Julie May. Nice to see you. Hi, Kaz. Hi, Nicole. Everything sounds like a euphemism in the right company, Ginny. Notice how I say right company, not wrong company. Fun is to be had, not to be gazed upon. But I think you should probably gaze upon it too. So honestly, I have managed to claim this canal for just myself. I came here first at 7:30 in the morning, which was way too early for Japanese people. And it is now rainy and 8:20 at night. Now, this is a surprise tour, so I actually don't have any obligation to explain stuff to you. I haven't promoted explaining anything, but I think I might give you a little treat, not just in the postcard variety. I think I'll probably also share a little bit of information because I don't want to leave you in the dark, despite me being in the dark right now. Hello, Evelyn. Nice to see you. Pay with card or Google Pay. Lovely. Hello to my charming partner. Sometimes. Rio is here. Nice to see you, Rio. And above that, we have JB and Alba. Thank you very much, JB and Alba. If you hear a little echo, it's because I'm holding an umbrella and a gimbal, which means I'm using my nose to change the chat, which changes the echo quality of my voice. So that's what's going on there. It's nighttime, so I have to be really careful about how I score you your postcards because if I move around too quickly, as you noticed just now, even though I was quite slow, it will probably blur. Because it's the dark of the night now. The sky is not just blue, but it's blackened, kind of grey-black. So I'm going to take you up onto the bridge over here because it's very lovely and it's one of the prime views. Excuse me for a little brolly bopping into the view occasionally. I'm going to try and keep that behind me, but my priority is keeping the gimbal safe. Not that I'll ever need to use it again. Just kidding. Of course I will. Please consider following me on linktr.ee/MissKendalJames, where you can find the things that I'll be doing after Heygo closes in a couple of days, because that's a sad story, but it's fine. We're going to make new stories. It'll be fine. Konbanwa. 忙しいね。冗談でした。Hi, Rachel. Hi, Onnaka. Hi, Dee and Kinga. Thank you very much, Sharon, for sharing that. Now, this is one of the most beautiful points of a Japanese night when it rains. Can you see that on the tarmac here? We've got a little extra reflection, and I do like that ever so much. So, what I have planned for this surprise tour today, if I just point you in this direction, we've got nothing. So our little walking area is quite small. Ryo-kun ga genki de arimasu yoni. How are the good things? Are things good? Does it mean are things good? I don't know. What interesting Japanese. Look at this. Look at the lovely reflections in the water just over here. I'm going to get you the postcards of your dreams. Honestly, we've got a small walk. So from this bridge to the bridge that you can faintly see in the distance, I promise you, I'm going to score you some of the prettiest postcards you've had today. And that's a high accolade considering you've been hanging out with me all day and I've got no modesty filter because I know darn well that I live in a beautiful place. And we've seen carpets and carpets of blossoms on the ground today. It's been wonderful. Yeah, Nicole, you'll only have been here with me before. So thank you very much for joining me here. You won't have been here with any other guide. It's just me. You'll have been here, but only in the daytime. Apart from once before I brought you here to see autumn leaves. Nicole said not possible 2 years ago. I'd be very, very, very surprised. But also, that's cool. If it was 2 years ago, that's cool. And also, I appreciate you recognizing that I haven't been here for 2 years. That's also cool. Oh, Evelyn says, that's what I like about you. No modesty filter. And let me tell you why I've got no modesty filter. Because I have an extraordinary pride of place. You could put me in a toilet and I would have pride of place. And I don't mean a glorious Japanese one. Honestly, the way I see it, life is to be lived and I'm grateful I'm here. And so I'm going to be proud and pleased of anywhere I exist. So I hope that some of that can rub off on you guys. And I hope you can make jokes with security guards in the night in a way that makes them really confused and they don't really know what's going on. And they're like, why is someone even here? It's drizzling. Evelyn, I had to explain myself in that moment because I knew some people would be thinking I was talking about the glorious Japanese toilet. Now, it stopped raining, so I'm going to put this lovely beast away. This is a Japanese umbrella. Usually, they are plastic in variety, which means they make that lovely in a special pitter-patter way. Whereas the British ones, they not only blow out the wrong way in a full-blown Mary Poppins style, but they really just don't last long and they don't sound so good either. It is like a giant jellyfish, isn't it? So I'm moving a little bit slowly because I don't want you to have a blur fest, which I say as I move a little bit fast. But just over here, we have a really nice shop sign, so I'm going to point that out in the distance. So this, I should give you history as well, don't worry. This is Omihachiman Canal. And in the middle here, that is not the road. That is not a road filled with loads and loads of chewing gum. That is actually cherry blossoms that have floated downstream. But you see, there's such a small amount of wind right now that it just they're just settled in the water, so they don't necessarily look all that right now, but they are nice. Every day above ground is a good day. Here's to that, Ginny. 3, 2, 1. Did you see that? We said giant jellyfish, and my partner put an emoji of his tongue sticking out. Honestly, you could tell him an inanimate object was an animal, and he would think it was delicious. 3, 2, 1. That's Japanese people for you. You can't take them to an aquarium without worrying they're going to break the glass. Honestly, I'm telling you. That's all right, Dawn. It's very nice to see you. Does anyone know the sound that Japanese people make when they go to an aquarium? And by the way, this is not a joke. It sounds like a punchline. It's not a joke. The sound they make is "oishiso," which means looks delicious. I'm not even kidding. I wish that was a joke. It's just not. All right, I'm going to try and slowly take you around and back down to the other bridge. We haven't been to the other bridge yet. Just had a little look around. Honestly, I've been with so many Japanese people, in particular my partner and my Japanese teacher, and they all say "oishiso, oishiso," because they think but they go "oishiso," like a cat licking their lips, looking at a fish tank. It's naughty. All they want to do is eat the fish. All they want to do is eat the fish to have a good time. It's real. There you go, guys. Don't give me a bad review to finish my career on Heygo. You've heard it from the horse's mouth. And by the way, Rio, from the horse's mouth means from the from the person that knows. I don't too, Diane, but my partner really loves meat as well. So I really love alpacas. Oop, that was a bit scary. And whenever I show him a picture of an alpaca or even an emoji of an alpaca, he says, it's yummy. It's yummy. So I've got to say, a little bit, I love alpacas, but a little bit when I look at alpacas now, I do think about whether or not they have good meat. But that being said, most of the time, I don't even eat meat at all. So I am being changed bit by bit. But he's also terrified that we're going to have children and they're going to be born vegan because he's seen how many vegetarians I eat. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. He's seen how many vegetables I eat. I don't eat vegetarians. Or do I? I don't eat vegetarians. No. So this is a surprise tour, guys. In fact, this is my final surprise tour as far as I know. So you might want to hit the notification bell on this surprise tour, but maybe not. All of my tours, as far as I know, are listed. Am I a flexitarian? Yes. If you need a technical word for what I am, then yes, I'm a flexitarian. In my house, generally, I don't eat meat unless it's like a proper treat. I generally don't kill unless it's for pleasure. I'm kidding. I generally, I just don't eat meat because, to be honest, I hate plastic waste. And meat is usually only wrapped in plastic, right? And I hate that. Unfortunately, however, in Japan, the lesser of two evils, you have to guess which has got the most plastic on it. The carrot or the beef. I don't know, just like what has got the most plastic on it is a nightmare. Ginny doesn't like buying it or cooking it, but she likes eating it. I like that in a euphemism kind of way as well. So as I was saying, this is a surprise tour, and I've extended it and split it into two. So the first 35 minutes, of which we've still got 20 more, I'm going slow and steady because, as you can tell, it's slippy underneath me, so I can quite easily fall. But also I'm walking on little stepping stones, and because of the darkness, I don't want it to give you blurry pictures. So I'm going very, very carefully. And then after that, we're going to march through the city. So if you like the wet streets of Japan, which are my most, I recommend the wet streets of Japan even more than the dry streets of Japan. I say that as an experienced civilian that has lived here for 3.5 years. If there is water on the ground in Japan, generally your photographs are going to be significantly better because in Japan there are so many lights. Excuse me while I wrap up this umbrella. I think it's become irrelevant. What can I do? 1 second. I'm gonna tripod you guys up over here. Excuse-moi. You have to stare at the light. Don't go into the light, okay? Just stare at it. Don't go into it. Don't follow the light. Stay with me, guys, okay? Don't go into the light. You're safe with me. Don't go in, okay? Keep with me. Can you hear my voice? Can you guys hear my voice? Don't go into the light. Just look at it. Okay, all right, you're safe again. You're here. I'm here. Okay, so after we're going to walk through the city. So if anyone just wants to come to the canal, the moment you see me charging away a little bit more fast, you can disappear, no problem. You can go back to sleep. You can write letters to your enemies. You can do whatever you like. But no, that's not what I'm planning on doing later. Yes, that's what I'm planning on doing later. And in a minute, you're going to hear my enemies. But my enemies don't want letters. I don't really know what to do about the enemies that I've got. They're at the end. They're over on this bridge. And at that point, this tour is going to turn into an angry tour. And I'll explain that as we get there. Hi, Chris. Hi, Jane. And as a lot of you have probably noticed, I've got more energy. That's because it's the nighttime. And I love the nighttime. Here's a beautiful reflection. And I'm going to slowly pan up. You can tell it's blurry if I'm not careful. And I'm going to go 3, 2, 1. I'm going to let you have a little look at that. Isn't that nice? So these are old warehouses that used to hold things like rice. 3, 2, 1. But in Omihachiman, where they are, yes, I know the history. In Omihachiman, where we are, there were also guns and all different kinds of carpentry that were created, that used to be created in this area. So the warehouses could have been for anything, especially maybe half a kilometer up in the other direction. But in this particular area, it's probably rice. And this whole canal has been kept in the style of Edo period Japan from back in the 1600s, the 17th century, because basically back in 1970, it started to fall into a state of disrepair, so desperately so that it almost became a sewage site until the locals decided, no, we're not going to have that. They're going to shake themselves awake and they're going to decide to clean up the canal. They said, we will be sorry if Hachiman Canal becomes a waste site. And so they decided to clean it up. And ever since 1970, this canal has been kept looking nice and beautiful, so much so that it has in turn been used for all kinds of Japanese period dramas, including Rurouni Kenshin. Yeah, Kenshin Impact, I'm pretty sure. So it's used for that. And I'm not going to pan around really quickly. Maybe I can do it really slowly. Okay, we're going to slowly pan. The bridge in the background in particular is the focal point, the main bridge in which they like to use for these period dramas, because it just looks so picturesque. Try and ignore the car that's going over it right now. It looks so picturesque, especially when a canal boat is coming through it. And in this whole area, you'll notice that my juicy favorite is missing from the sky. So far, despite there being lights everywhere, you haven't noticed anything beaming light off of a power cable, because in this area, there just aren't lots of power cables visible I'm going to say I'm pretty sure I just saw a ghost through that window. Okay, that's a bit creepy. I just saw something ghost-like in that window up there. And I'm going to calmly go over this quite dangerous-looking little bridge over here. Let's have a look. I'm just going to, before I go to my doom, I'm going to check what you guys are saying. It's probably best. I think it's Ruronin Kenshin. Erin, Kathleen, nice to see you. Tish, Diane. Yeah, Ruronin Kenshin, that's the one. Rurouni Kenshin. Thank you very much for following me, guys. I think I'm almost at 2,500. I'm so very, very close. Jane and Mandy, nice to see you too. Welcome. So we are at the beautification section of this surprise tour. And actually, I've never been here during cherry blossom season at night before. Today was the first time I came here during the day for cherry blossom season, despite me constantly recommending it to other people that are in Japan, such as my friend Franklin the Woman on YouTube. It was my first time today, and the rain is coming back, so I have to open up this umbrella. Bear with me. No way! Sharon, the more recent one from about 2019, it's very good. It's very good. Only I was watching it with a Japanese person, my partner, so he fell asleep partway through because Japanese people are professional sleepers. It might sound like I'm slandering Japanese people in general, saying that they go to aquariums as if they're buffets and they fall asleep everywhere. However, I have so much evidence. And also I say it affectionately in an endearing way. But if you go to Kyoto and Osaka, you can go to food courts and there are genuinely signs on the tables that say no napping. Now tell me, what other country have you been in the world that has a sign that says, please don't sleep here unless it's a bus stop? Diane, this is my 15th hour of working right now. My partner, in comparison to me, is extraordinarily lazy. So I appreciate where you're coming from, saying they work so many hours. However, let me pitch you this. In Japan, it doesn't matter if you stayed up all night. I'm going to stereotype massively here. It doesn't matter if you stayed up all night reading manga and playing video games. If you are then found falling asleep at your desk the next day, you are celebrated. If somehow you get through the day energetically and are awake and alert, they think you haven't worked hard enough. So it's better to read manga all night is what I get from that. I've got the brolly on, don't worry. I will send pictures of that sign. Please follow me on Buy Me a Coffee. And you can see, basically, as I use the Heygo app right now, you'll experience me using Buy Me a Coffee in just the same way. Chrissy says, true, they work so many hours. It is true. It is true. And in exchange, the birth rate in Japan is dropping. And there are a lot of employment law issues, if you ask me. And I hope it changes over time. And I do love this country, so do not get me wrong. And I do love my partner too, and his family. But I work harder than them. I work harder and I'm not falling asleep, but no one is celebrating me. It worked well for you when you were pregnant. They were happy for you to have a nap. That's awesome. So if you're a Japanese person, you really want to have a nap in a food court, just pop a little pillow under your t-shirt. Thank you very much, Jenny, for sending that. Thanks, Chrissy, for celebrating me. However, I must insist that it is not a celebratory thing to find yourself having only 3.5 hours sleep before presenting almost 16 hours worth of tours all day. It is not so smart, and I do not champion that. So please be wiser than I, and know that come Wednesday, when this glorious thing is all tied up for a short while until we find whatever's next, I will be sleeping like dead baby logs. Diane says they even showed me a room to lie down in, except at school, it was at my desk. Yeah, so in Japan, because the students work so hard, okay, I honestly, I teach Japanese students, and I can honestly tell you they are staying up way too late reading manga. That is a fact. But also, after they go to school, they have to go to cram school. Cram school is a horrible school in which you study for 3 to 4 hours. If you're lucky, you've had dinner first. If not, you're just not lucky. Sometimes my students haven't had their dinner until 9 or 10, but then I don't get my dinner till 10:30. So I don't know what the lesser of the evils is right now. They go to cram school. And unfortunately, they also have to miss out on doing sports activities because of cram school, which does really suck. But I reiterate, they are reading manga until 3 a.m. Right, we have youths ready to attack. So I'm going to try and bump myself over to the bridge. And if they do attack, I'll attack back harder. And over here, I wonder if my enemy is still around. I'm going to tell you about my enemy in a minute. I can't hear my enemy right now, so I think it was a fluke. Manga is a Japanese word for comic book. Hi.
Hey.
Ah, tobacco. Nice. My name is Kendal.
Hey. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I got no hands. You want a high five? We going for high five? Sweet.
Wait.
Nice. Why are you smoking?
Yeah, no smoking.
No smoking. Wow. 悪い匂い. Smells super bad.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. Very unhealthy. ヘルシーじゃないね. So manga is comic books. Isn't this view lovely? Super lovely. Diane says Waterstones has a large selection of manga now. They read backwards, yeah, not necessarily backwards. Backwards implies wrong a little bit. Instead, they read from right to left, whereas we read left to right. Yeah, it's really gorgeous, isn't it? In fact, that one back there was your money shot, I think. 今、世界中にライブ配信のツアーです。
ガチですか？
いや、今、そう、ライブです。
何入ってる？
トバッコはいくつですか
？24です。
あ、そうですか。若いそうです。
あれは、これセリフじゃないですよ。
コスプレイ。わかった。あ、そう。わかった。コスプレイ。You wanna, your school name? Great, good. These people are trying to convince me that they're old enough to have cigarettes in the background. Bye. 楽しんでください. Wow. Well, that didn't really, that showed something, didn't it? I promise you, I really super love Japan. But there are some things that people assume about Japan. And I've been living here for 3.5 years, and they're just not true. The trains are late. Kids are smoking. They're not working as hard as you think they are. So let me tell you what just happened. We've got another 5 minutes. I'm going to walk the other way so that you can see the reflection of the cherry blossoms in that direction. Of course, I'm going really slow today because of the darkness. In other places that I film in the dark, usually there's a lot more lighting, but because they're trying to highlight the cherry blossoms, it's not so bright. Hi, Virginia. Nice to see you. They came over smoking. They do not look very old at all. In Japan, you're 20 before you're an adult, so you can't drink or smoke until you're an adult. But one of them was wearing school uniform, and he's smoking, and I'm like, oh, cool, you're smoking. And he's like, no, it's not cigarettes. And I'm like, in my head, I'm not an idiot. That's cigarettes. Also, little white sticks. And they thought I was just talking to my phone for some reason until I told them that this was a live stream. And then they seemed really nervous because they were smoking on a live stream. But luckily, it's too dark for us to see them. And after that, they tried to claim that the school uniform was just a joke school uniform, which is when I said, cosplay desu ka? It's cosplay. Cosplay. And they're like, yeah, it's cosplay. Ginny, your name is Virginia. I always forget. There was somebody else called Virginia that just came in. Hi, JW. Hello. Yeah. And then he's like, look, I've even got this joke badge. And I'm like, you really want me to film your school badge on camera live? And he's like, no, it's okay. All right, mate. You're not the smart. I don't think you're 20. So that was funny. Thank you very much for enduring that moment. I hope that today in this beautiful surprise tour that does not have matching audio commentary at all, it does not reflect the joyous reflections of nighttime cherry blossoms in the water. I hope that you've had some interesting cultural input. Hello, nice to see you, David. Oh, hisashiburi. Long time no see. Let me show you just here. I've just found some cherry blossoms that are spelling out the word yip, which I think means yip yip, hooray. We've got Y-I-P. Yip yip. On your bike, on Japanese. What does that mean? Oh, like leave, like go away. Well, I jokingly said, have fun, as they left. I said, tanoshinde kudasai. Please have fun. That's the most engaging teenagers have almost ever been with me. Right, I'm going to take you up higher because there's one little route. We haven't done the high up version through here. So I'm just going to do a little 180 behind me. Bear with me. It says tip. Penelope says, no, it doesn't say yip. It says tip, Kendal, tip. It says tip Kendal. Guys, if you saw tip, what are you doing? Like, where's the old tippy? I like that. Thank you. Oh, exactly. I specifically asked the security guard to make a formation of cherry blossoms that had fallen from the tree because it's a kind of blasphemy to take them from the tree. I said, can you arrange these in the words TIP so that everybody knows to tip? And if they don't, then I'll highlight that and then they will tip. You're exactly right, Gregory. Gregory says, or was it a placement? Or was it a placement as a surreptitious reminder to tip? Hi, Iwa. Nicole saw it too. Yes, please go to buy me a coffee. You can also go to Heygo. You can continue to support Heygo. I don't really know what use that does anymore. I think they're grabbing their monies and running, but I have appreciated them up until this very point, and I'm grateful to have met you all. Thanks to Heygo as well. 1 second. We don't need this brolly again. It's testing me. Right, I'm going to pop you on the side just for a second. And we're going to continue to walk just down this little bit. And then what we're going to do is descend or ascend. You can choose. It's your prerogative. The first part of the tour, this surprise tour, is enjoying these lovely blossoms in this lovely historical canal, which is just gorgeous, that links to Lake Biwa, by the way, the largest lake in Japan. And the second part of the tour is a Q&A. So if you've got any questions you'd like to ask me of any variety, I mean, Heygo's closing, so no, I'm kidding. I'm not going to say anything super rude. I wasn't going to give you free rein to ask whatever you like. Anything that will not incriminate me, I will answer, is what I mean to say. So yeah, let's have another couple of minutes just walking along this nice last little bit of cherry blossoms. Thank you very much for enjoying this lovely area at night during April with me for the first time that I've done that. It's a very famous area, so you can really say, you've done it all. I've completed. In fact, you guys, if you came on my 12-hour tour, you've completed Shiga. You've completed it, mate. Completed. Thank you very much, Evelyn, for your TIP. You obviously got the message. Do they keep the change? Does Heygo keep the change? What change? Let me see. I want to know how hilarious Nicole is. Let me have it. I'm just going to find that. I love a good joke. I can't find it. What did Nicole say? I want to see. Same here. Not much because of work, because of Heygo. You need one of those hat umbrellas. Diane has said I need one of those hat umbrellas. I'm not kidding. Someone suggested I make a wish list of things that I need so that Voyagers can help me out with buying them. I would have put that top of my list, especially as so many people on Heygo are American, or at least my Voyagers, because of this time zone that I'm normally in. This is a nighttime tour, but the time zone I'm normally in makes everyone American. And as far as I'm concerned, based on TV, Americans are the ones that know how to get those umbrella hats, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, I want to see it again. I tried to go back, but the chat is a bit bugged at the moment, so it's difficult. What subjects should we avoid not to incriminate you? Gregory, you're on my wavelength every time, but that's a trap. That's a trap. I know it is. I know it is. I can't answer that. Joe Kwan. So if you eat vegetarians, it's because you killed them for... No. Joke number one. If you eat vegetarians, it's because you killed them for pleasure. Yes, no. I mean, no, of course not. Of course not. Now, just for the last, before we descend into the madness of a trip to the train station for me, because there are no buses anymore, so I have to walk for 20 minutes, please admire the snow falling from the trees. Isn't that lovely? Let me see. Rick B. Hello, Giselle, lovely. Dolly says, thank you. I was off the chat, but I enjoyed your tour. I usually can't join due to time differences. I'll miss you. Or see you on YouTube. You're going to see me on YouTube. No. It was funny. Where's the other one? It was funny. Hi, Richard. Oh, goodness. Richard always just sees my mad tours. This is a sane tour, guys. Richard always sees my tours of lights. Richard, you have to grab your postcards now because we're going into the streets of Omihachiman. I can move faster there because there's more lighting. But for now, we're going to say goodbye. Everyone say goodbye to the businessman taking a picture. Hi, Rosie. All right, everybody. That's it. We're out of here. We're going to walk through the streets of Omihachiman at night and see what we can see. And we have now entered the Q&A section, and I'm not falling into Gregory's trap of telling you what will incriminate me and what won't. I just couldn't do that. If you hit the nail on the head, maybe I will walk faster. Arigatou gozaimasu. Look at these lovely lanterns over here. Hello, Richard. We've entered Q&A mode now. This is a surprise tour. We had 35 minutes of banter along the canal, which is what I like to do in the UK without a live stream. And now we've entered Q&A in the rain. Okay, excellent. Nicole's got the first excellent question. The first excellent question is, I think I missed what your enemies are. So, what are they? That's excellent. 1 second. Oh, Tracy says I was not going to turn on Heygo today. So sad. Lovely, lovely. Don't worry. So I just made my most recent YouTube video is one that says, don't worry. It's okay. We're here. We're not going anywhere. Lovely. It's okay. It's okay. We'll find a way. Okay. And Rosie says, also, just like the UK, the rain. Exactly, Rosie. There's so much rain in Japan. I honestly don't know how people can say, I don't want to go on holiday to England. It's so rainy. Why is Japan at the top of your list? So I promised there was going to be an angry section of this tour. Here's the angry section. Right. Penelope says, is it safe to walk around that area on your own? Yes. I'm from the UK originally, Rosie. It's not the end. It's a new beginning. Exactly. How is it I have over 1,200 followers, but only 50 on YouTube? Right, Richard, I love it. I love that your Q&A question isn't even for me. Well, it might be. I can maybe advise there. But it's because nothing adds up. Nothing adds up, Richard. You've been around long enough to know that. Nothing adds up. You're from Manchester. I'm from Bristol, lovely. I'm from Bristol, and my family sound a bit more like this, but I sound more nice. I don't know why. I think I read more books. That's a slur to my family. It's a joke. My mum reads a lot. But she still sounds like a farmer. Right, I'm going to answer the question about who my enemies are. My enemies, my friends, are cicadas. I hate them. I hate cicadas. When I came to Japan and I first heard cicadas, I was like, ooh, how lovely. It's the sound of summer. It's so nice and it's so novel. And about 5 months later, I was like, how have they not died yet? It's not okay. It's not okay how long they live. Like, I'm pretty sure their worlds move significantly slower than ours, and yet they're alive for so long. And then they have babies, and their bodies are so big, and they just all drop on you from the trees. And there's just one tree outside of my apartment, and yet the cicadas are so loud that I can have the washing machine on, I can hear the fridge. I've turned on the gas. I was going to make a really dark joke. I'm not going to make a dark joke about why I turned on the gas. I've turned on the gas because there's not enough space in my apartment for an electric kettle, and I really want a cup of tea to calm myself. But the cicadas are so loud that it doesn't even matter that I've done all of that. And then I put music on, and then I'm singing to the music, and I can still hear them. It's awful. I hate them. And earlier on, when I was starting this tour, I heard cicadas. It's April 6th. You can look up whatever you like on the internet. It says cicadas are the sound of summer. Now, I know global warming is a big problem. I've been trying to tell people since I was a child. They don't care. But I'm telling you, April is not summer. Not, before Richard gets smart with me, not in Japan, it's not. In Japan, it's not summer. So I hate them. They sound like tinnitus. It's not good. It's not okay. And then they're scary. I'm only comfortable with them if they're dead. And which is how I know they're vegetarians. I'm kidding. Okay, let me see. Richard asks, I'll go back to the other ones in a second. Richard asks, is Japan expensive to stay in? Yes and no. Richard, you live in Australia, so I hear that's the most expensive place that you could possibly live in. So I apologize that that's where you find yourself, but it does look beautiful. However, I'm from the UK, and ultimately, in the UK, people think our taxes are high, but our exemption is pretty fair if you're just a normal person. If you're a high earner, yeah, you pay a lot of taxes. My friends that complain about taxes, I'm like, you're getting taxed more than I earn, so don't even complain. In Japan, you have to pay pension. You have to, and it's quite a lot of money. It's 160 Canadian dollars, 140 American dollars, and about 110 pounds British money. You have to pay that. You also have to pay health insurance, which is the same. And that gets you just 70% off of whatever you need to buy. So you still have to pay for all of your healthcare. And you have to pay the city tax, which is like council tax in the UK. You have to pay these. Now, if you are a low earner or you have exemptions to do with disability or pregnancy, which is its own form of disability, slightly, I got British humor, I'm sorry. Then you can apply to get some exemptions, but the chances of you getting everything exempt are quite slim. What's the best thing about living in Japan? I'm going to scroll up in a second and check the other messages, don't worry. The best thing about living in Japan is it's clean. People are generally respectful of each other. No one is going to steal your stuff, which I find very alarming, because in the UK, it doesn't even matter if you are a thief or not. You are an opportunist. You've been trained to be an opportunist. As far as I'm concerned, if someone accidentally leaves their smartphone next to you, if they've already gotten off the train, the chances are you've now got 2 smartphones. I mean, I might be generalizing, but it can happen. So my favorite things about Japan are the respect for others, the mountains. There is no chewing gum on the ground, which just blows my mind. And I absolutely love the power cables. They're lovely. All right, thank you very much, Dee. Right, let me check some of the higher up, not higher up as in great, but let me check the other questions. Okay, Joe Kwan. Just going to check. Safe to walk around on my own? Yes. The YouTube thing, it's a wonder. It's a wonder. Any suggestions? 1 second. The chat doesn't work very well right now. It's a bit of a pain and it's never going to be fixed, is it? Richard said, is it as expensive as people say? Not if you know where to look. However, if you end up going to convenience stores all the time, I personally believe you'll end up spending a lot more money than you meant to and needed to. Just going to check. Nice, one of Rich's best friends has been hanging out in Japan for the last 3 weeks. Lovely. What are these? Apologies for the ignorance. What's these? Cicadas. Cicadas are little creatures that make sounds. They're insects, but they make sounds as if they're like electric wires. It sounds like everything around you is blowing up. And another thing that I really love about Japan is in the rain with the power cables and the lights, it doesn't matter if you're in the countryside or not, it looks like Blade Runner, right? Even now, it looks like Blade Runner. Let me see. Oh, crunching a cicada underfoot is not good. Ginny asked when my exhibition starts. My exhibition starts on the final Monday of May. Farmer. Rosie calls me a farmer. All right, Babs. Calm down. Sharon says, any resources or suggestions for solo travelers in Japan? Yes. Don't be afraid. You can do it. Loads of things are in English, so you're all good. And yeah, have a go. Have a go. You can do it. And let me see where we're at now. Jump in. Checking your messages. 3 future goals for after Heygo. Okay, banking that 1 second. Rosie says, probably a strange question. Do people keep to themselves quite a lot, or they keep to themselves quite a lot, or are they shy? I heard places like restaurants where you don't have to speak to or even see another human. It's right. It's true. This is true. That happens. It's also great because in the UK, generally people do not go out for food. 1 second. 3, 2, 1. Look at that. Good. I love it. 3, 2, 1. People do not go out for food alone. People do not go to the cinema alone, generally. People don't go to the theatre. They don't go to gigs alone. But in Japan, that's totally normal. That's all fine. What do Japanese people say when they see an aquarium? Oishisou ne? They say, wow, that looks delicious, doesn't it? Do the cicadas shout louder to drown out your noise, or do they start complaining about their noisy neighbors? I hope so. I hope so, Gregory. You wise guy, coming at me with that. I want to speak to you after lesson, okay? So, I'm going to walk. This is the straight road down to the station. We have maybe 15 minutes, so plenty of questions may come in. Let me have a look. You just added them. Okay, we're talking about how to get emojis in your name. I love that now is the time to check how to get emojis. Before I leave Heygo, I hope I get emojis in my name. There we go. Dawn says, I always go to places on my own or else I'll never get there. And you know what? I invite people to places all the time. And they're like, I don't know if I can go. And I'm like, that's fine. I'm going anyway. And they're like, really? Yeah, I'm going anyway. Do you want to come or not? Maybe I do want to come. Okay, come on. How did I learn Japanese? Through osmosis. No, I'm kidding. People always say you can learn it through osmosis. However, I teach English, so I teach English in an environment where we are not allowed to speak Japanese, and thus we're unlikely to hear Japanese. So my understanding of Japanese people finding things difficult, saying things like muzukashii, that I hear quite often. However, I don't hear them speaking sentences and words and phrases too often. So that's difficult. So I learned Japanese through self-study. People often think it's because I've got a Japanese partner, but we only meet once, twice, or I'm at least 3 times a lady to him. We only meet 1 to 3 times a month, and our priority, don't get any funny ideas, you wouldn't be wrong, but don't get any funny ideas, is not speaking Japanese to each other. So we tend to speak English. You learn English through Heygo, which is excellent. I think I missed a question earlier. Let me check it out. Thank you so much, Richard, for your tip. That's very kind of you. Just going to check. 3 future goals after Heygo. Future goals. To sleep in the bath, and to sleep on the train. I've got 3 goals, and all of them are sleep-centric. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep so hard. Guys, I woke up at 5:45 to start doing tours for you today. Because I had to travel to them. And when I get home later, it's going to be after 10 p.m. I realize that is an insane amount of time to be doing tours. However, after this month, I'm never getting another paycheck on Heygo. And later this year, I'm traveling to the UK. It was already going to cost me 1/4 of my annual income, which is a messy amount of money. I haven't even been home in 4 years because of the amount it costs. And now it's more because of gas prices. And I don't know what I'm going to do because I lost 2 jobs this month. I'm freelance, and I didn't lose them. I chose not to work with one because the lady was a nightmare and was mistreating me severely. So I backed out of it. And then Heygo's going. So no choice. Let me see. Tip from Richard Jeffrey, President Jeffrey. Oh my goodness, what's happened there? Are you part of the guides trying to find an alternative? I can tell you, I have signed up. However, I don't live in the UK. I do not think I'm their top priority, regardless of the fact that I'm British. It doesn't even matter that I've got 2 million postcards in only 14 months, or 2,500 followers on Heygo, or that I've done 450 tours. I don't think I'm their priority. I'm not in their time zone. I'm not in their viewing angle. I wasn't there 2 years ago. I only joined about a year ago. So they like me. They know of me. And maybe they're not concerned about whether or not I can do well without them. I don't know. If there's something going, like I sent my emails, so we'll see. We'll see. Free tours on foot website. Interesting. Just gonna do a little screenshot there. So by the way, we're in Shiga right now. But this is Shiga. People always think of it as the countryside. Kind of is the countryside because the houses are really, really big right here. But as you can hear, we're right next to a main road that leads all the way to the train station. And if you carry on going in the other direction, you'll get to Lake Biwa. But I struggle to think of this as the countryside because in the UK, in the countryside, there is nothing. There is maybe a pub if you are lucky, because the pub is more important than the post office in the UK. There are other guides not in the UK, but I don't know. They don't like. I've got a recommendation if and when they decide to add more guides, but they're still sorting things out. So this is one of the things that might incriminate me as a, I don't know, good for nothing meanie that doesn't care about others, which isn't the truth, but I don't feel cared about, so I'm disinterested. So I don't know what's happening with those guides, but I know that there are many great platforms. I actively use YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and will continue to do so. I hope to perform I hope to perform and present live to you guys. I really want to stay connected to you guys. I love having a friendship and connection with you. And most importantly, I love inspiring you guys to do things that for some reason, someone, maybe that's yourself, have taught you your whole lives that you cannot do, you're not able to do. Be that drawing, going outside, making friends, getting a partner. I don't know what you've been telling yourself you can't do, but I believe you can do it at some point if it's what you really want. I also believe you don't need it unless it's what you really want. So from my point of view, I'm not going to lose sight of people that I've made strong connections with, for example, Ginny and Lily. And I hope I don't lose Richard as a friend here. I'm awaiting a painting from his wife, for example. So for me, that's what's important. And if I see another guide struggling because they've been trying to set up a business, or they really want to be able to do something with a platform that's similar to Heygo, I will reach out to them and I will try and coach them into a way that helps them feel like they're still going to be okay. So that's for me. Of course, Richard, I'll let you know when it comes. Of course. But look at this. Is this the countryside? I don't think this is the countryside. It's no Kyoto because there's nothing high-rise. And even in Kyoto, it's not that high-rise. But it's funny. People think I live in the countryside. I don't know if there are issues. Honestly, I'm not even talked to, so I have no idea. Right. Let me see. 1 second. Lovely hearts. There's a list they're putting together. I'm not being pessimistic, Linda. Definitely not. If you've gathered pessimism from my voice, then I think you have not heard the Kendal inside. And if you want to hear the Kendal inside, please come to my karaoke tour in a few days. What relevant location? Not virtual tours. Beamed to the world. Don't understand that one, sorry. Do cars drive on the left? They drive on the right. Richard, in Australia, Japan, and the UK, we drive on the same side. And Molly here says, hi Voyagers, is there a new Facebook group for people to join? It would be great to keep in touch. And I would like to invite all of you right now, if you would like, you are absolutely welcome to share your social media here. I would encourage you not to share your private information, such as your address and phone number, or perhaps full name, unless that is what you go by publicly. You're welcome to use this chat to share all of those, because I don't want you to lose connection with each other if that's what you want. And if ever you're thinking, where is this one person? Feel free to ask me. I might not know where that one person is, but I bet I can find the person. That you're looking for through other people. So I hope I can help you in the future. So Diane says, Japan took its rules of the road from the UK, but its preference on English is mainly American. That is absolutely true, but it's not actually a preference. It's interestingly just the kind of agreement that came after the Second World War. So it's kind of a surrendering choice. Before the Second World War, Japanese people preferred to speak what they refer to as the Queen's English. But since the Second World War, it became clear that keeping a peace treaty was more appropriate and safe. And so things started to become very American. And there are still many American barracks around Japan, for example, in Yokohama and Okinawa. So Rose has asked what Richard's info is on YouTube, etc. And if anyone has any favorite guides that they would like to share and make sure that their channels on YouTube are celebrated, then please feel free to also use the chat to do that. Of course. Richard, share away. Share away, share away. Go ahead. For anybody, if you've got any favorite guides, absolutely go ahead. Have a nice time. And we are about 5 or 6 minutes away from the train station. The gimbal has been threatening to turn itself off for quite a few minutes. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask them. And the one thing I will ask of you is if you enjoyed the proper part of the tour, where we were checking out the canal and you got some excellent postcards, please feel free to share the postcards online to Heygo Voyages and consider sharing my link tr.ee/MissKendalJames link at the same time and letting people know that they can still sponsor and tip in that way. But also, please consider still leaving me a review, because I will be using those reviews to help me potentially get different work in the future. So thank you very much if you have a nice review to leave me. If you don't have a nice review to leave me, I understand. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. This is not necessarily how my tours usually go, but this is a surprise tour. I've been very, very busy all day, working very, very hard. And I absolutely will not apologize for being myself, and I wish you the best. So there's that. But yes, any more questions, anybody? Rose has over 40 favorite guides. Trying to watch tours before they go, it must be such a struggle, Rose. Especially in Canada, you're a little bit tied up for the hours, right? All right, Lisa, thank you so much. Diane says, right, I've procrastinated long enough. Time to go back to studying. Thanks again, Kendal, and see you soon. On the car has been very delightful and shared lots of lovely reviews for me and says, I've been delightful too, and thank you so much for the wonderful tour. And Chrissy says, we love you, never apologize for being you. And of course, you'll never see me apologizing for being me. And I encourage you guys to never do the same. You can learn from your mistakes. You can improve your behavior if you find that you're constantly upsetting others. However, you might also like to check who you're hanging around with. It might not be you. It may not be you. And if it is you, learn and grow. It's all good. You're my favorite Australian Welshman. Of course, Richard. It might be them, exactly, Tracy. And I'll say to them, I'm just letting you know, I don't think it's me, I think it's you. I'm kidding. Chrissy has just put a little angel face in the emoji chat, and I like it. I resonate with that. So thank you very much, everybody. You've been a delight. I think I'm close to the station. I'm like, I think I'm 4 or 5 minutes away. And my train is in 20 minutes, so I really will be back home just before 10 p.m. Thank you, David. David says, love this walk, Kendal. It's made me unstressed for a while, and now back to work. Richard has shared a link, and I encourage you to check out what Richard is offering. I mean, I even saw a tour where he's going to take you to 10 beaches in an hour. That's amazing. Only in Australia. That's amazing. Oh, Dawn is rightly saying, I'm worried about being able to watch Heygo tours when Heygo has gone. You are right to worry about that, and your feelings are totally justified. You know what? In this digital age, I can honestly say that I think you should not be afraid to get out a pen and paper. Make a list of all of the guides that really are important to you. Very carefully write down all of the information you've had from them. And then no matter what happens to any other platform, anytime, you have got an analog list, a pen and paper list of the people that really matter to you. So that's what I'm going with. Do that. You too, Chrissy. And give Ginny a follow just there as well. Ginny's Jaunts, a little Facebook group. I'm afraid personally I'm so hesitant to join Facebook groups. They are a little source of stress for me. I don't really know what to do. But I do know that, for example, Dan, Matt, Ginny, Lily, these are some of my favorite guides, and Richard as well. They all have very successful Facebook groups, and they're very social, and they monitor themselves very nicely within the group. So you can still be connected to people in that way, and I hope that brings you some sense of calm. And Dawn, like I said, if you are ever if you ever feel like you're missing someone from the collection that you've grown, then send a message around. Find out from someone where that person is. But guides in general, they're probably self-employed. This is either their only job, or they have other jobs, or they're working other employed jobs at the same time. They're busy, but they don't want to lose you either. Heygo was very difficult at many, many points, but the benefits outweighed the stresses for sure. And your guides don't want to lose you. I promise they don't want to lose you. But me too. Facebook is dated. Little dated. I like it, but I prefer Instagram. I'm that pictures kind of gal. And don't forget, the Heygo Voyagers will be read only. So you can check out all of the links and things that your favorite guides have been putting in there anytime. And there will always be a search bar within that group. So you can type in a keyword. So you could type in Australia and see who posted things that were linked to Australia, for example. And that will be a great way to find out what's what. Hi, Donna. Nice to see you. So we are just coming to the end of the tour. There are less than 5 minutes left before I say goodbye to you. Now, this was impromptu, a kind of double tour in one. First we had the canal and the beautiful, beautiful views. And next up, we had a Q&A. And I hope that I provided you with a little bit of peace and calm. I hope you learned a lot about Japan along the way. I hope you could hear the sincere affection I have for Japan and you guys in my voice, because it is true. I used to have a lying skill when I was a teenager, but I lost it somehow. I gained, what are they called? Morals or something. I used to be so good at lying when I was a kid, but I can't do it anymore. Okay, Rose says, 3 goals after Heygo and they're not sleeping. Goal number 1. Become an oil painter. So I have an art exhibition due starting from Monday, the Monday at the end of May. In fact, I've invited Catherine, a Voyager, to send me artwork to have it displayed within my exhibition. So she's never been in an exhibition before, and definitely not internationally, let alone anything locally either. So she's going to send her work. And to be honest, Ginny, if you want in, I would really love your work involved as well. So my goal is become an oil painter. The exhibition is called A World Inspired by Heygo. And actually I planned it 2 or 3 months ago, but I filled in the forms for it about 6 or 7 weeks ago. And now Heygo is closing. So it was going to be a celebration of all of the guides, but now I guess it's going to be a little bit of a memorial and celebration. Memorial of Heygo and celebration of what's to come. Of course, I will be sharing all of their social media information and celebrating all of them. I have downloaded all of my postcards. And my first goal is learn to oil paint. I spent a lot of money on all of the oil paints, about $200 worth. So I need to learn good, learn hard, learn well. My second goal is complete that exhibition. My third goal. So I had some goals to show some things to the Heygo Voyagers, you guys, but actually I completed some of them recently. But I guess, I really, really want to live stream on YouTube. And I've got a new channel. It was only made about 8 or 9 months ago. And I think I need 1,000 subscribers. So I'm hoping that if you guys all subscribe over time, after watching a little video and then subscribe so it doesn't think you're a bot, then with any luck, I can be a live streamer. But my goal is become an oil painter, put on a great show for this exhibition, and stay in touch with all of you guys through live streaming and things on other platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I'm at MissKendalJames on everything. If you go to linktr.ee/MissKendalJames, then you'll be able to find a link to everything, including my Buy Me a Coffee, where you can also continue your sponsorship with me if you like. Now, I'm an artist, so I make handmade cards that I post to you guys seasonally. And also, I get 95% of the money that you give to Buy Me a Coffee, so it's a pretty good deal. Now, Sarah has just woken up and is probably kicking herself for missing most of the tour, but it doesn't matter. She's alert and she's got her finger on the button to share that link tr.ee of me. Joanne, exactly, yeah. She says, we'll be there. You don't get rid of us that easily. True. Thank you, Ginny. And also, may I add, I'm going to the UK this year. I was very, very excited. It's very expensive, which brings me minor devastation, but I realize I have my health, so I'll get over it. A friend has set up a GoFundMe for me, so if anyone feels like putting £5 or something in that, it would make a big difference. And if you can't do that, please consider just sharing it, because you never know who it will get to. Maybe a rich millionairess has some money and she's like, look at that cute British girl. Let's get her back to the UK as soon as possible. And then my Disney movie begins. So please consider sharing that if you see it. There's a video on YouTube that explains what's going on and what's coming up in my life. And at the bottom, there is a GoFundMe link for that. So check that out, please. My plan was to take you all over the UK to 10 different cities that I will know I'll be traveling to anyway, as well as Dubai to see Ashfaq, and whoever, like Imran, for example, who would like to see me in Singapore on the way back. I'm still doing those journeys, and I promise to present excellent edited videos that are narrated, as well as hopefully live tours from those locations. So I really, really encourage you to follow me on YouTube, please. Oh, I'm so glad you're collecting as many links as you can. That's great. Hi, Denise, and hi, Jubilee. We're coming to the end. We had an impromptu kind of Q&A, and we've been airing some things and having some fun. If you would like to find me online, you know where I'm at. Don't be afraid. The one thing I ask is, if you add me, can you send me a message? Because there have been some people adding us, and then they're saying, hey, please donate to my charity to save all of these people and buy them underwear and things like that. And I would just absolutely prefer if you said, hi, I know you from Heygo. Can we be friends? It would really help me place things so I know what to do. That would be wonderful. Thank you so much, Nicole, for choosing to leave me a tip. I hope you guys enjoyed the countryside of Japan, even though it's been a little bit wind, rain, and motor vehicle strict. Okay, I've definitely done enough English today, so Jane, oyasuminasai. Arigatou gozaimasu. Itsumo. Thank you so much, everybody. I will be catching you later. I'm coming up to the train station. That's all right. Thank you so much too. I'm actually delighted that so many of you decided to stay for a humble little Q&A for so long. But I'm guessing to anyone who wasn't watching, it just felt like a podcast with a friend, I hope. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. It's your YouTube. Follow Ginny's YouTube. Please support my friendlings too. Bye.